Today's horoscope from AstroCademy. Jupiter and Neptune hold special governance over your life, path, and relationships. This is because Jupiter was your original celestial guardian prior to the discovery of the modern outer planets. Neptune was assigned to you after being found by scientists recently. Together, they show that you are inherently expansive, optimistic, dreamy, and romantic when it comes to your intimate life and partnerships. Channel these magnificent energies into your journey today. You are ready for your next great adventure no matter what lies ahead. There will be a lot going on in your personal life. Getting through your workday will not be easy while the moon is in divergent Gemini. You may have to work extra hard to stay on task. It might be easy to do so by distracting yourself with work or even turning off your phone to focus. However, this lunation may encourage you to deal with personal matters instead of work responsibilities. Do not be surprised if you end up calling out sick or even leaving work early to tend to personal issues. In between the Sun's departure from your financial sector last week and Venus, the planet of money's return next week, there is a chance to give the income side of the financial fence some undivided attention. The moon's departure from your income sector has done more than just allow you to move into the new working week with a better sense of where the money is, with a chance to prepare for new doors opening on the career front next week. Today's planetary alignment gives you the motivation you need to stay close to home and work on your core issue, your health. Everyone needs to focus on healthy habits for at least 1 month out of the year, and you will benefit from making this your month. Check in with how you are really feeling. A virtual yoga class or a walk in the early mornings will center you for the rest of the day. The vibrations of the day are speaking about starting up a long-term activity by setting up a project. You have a great need for independence, and your autonomous nature will be encouraging you to trace a path without the help of your family and friends. Your taste for taking personal initiative means the days to come will be positive. Indeed, the period could rapidly turn out to be very promising in your sentimental life, even if you come up against some difficulties from time to time. The moon is not only still in your communication sector after its eclipsing full moon, but with a lot of momentum behind it as it forms a friendly aspect to Venus in your relationship sector. This is the only visit while the planet of love is here, and as she is separating from a friendly aspect to Jupiter in your communication sector, this is putting more weight on a real chance to push through communication barriers. Meanwhile, on the other side of the sky, an alignment between Mars and Mercury in an adventurous part of your chart is helping to turn a passion for adventure into a game plan. The moon's only visit to your communications sector while Venus, the planet of love, is in your relationship sector was always going to be important, and especially just days after her clash with Saturn in Pisces may have put a balance between your personal and relationship needs to the test. Yet as the moon forms a friendly aspect to Venus today, it is with the additional weight from eclipsing full moon behind it, making it easier to give your emotional responses and relationships a voice. Our eyes in the sky. Before leaving an intuitive and imaginative part of your chart today, the moon will spend its final hours at a friendly aspect to Pluto in your financial sector, as it does with each monthly visit. The difference is that this is their first encounter since Pluto turned direct, and as he will be leaving again in January, this will give you an intuitive sense that the tide has turned, as well as a chance to look to the future with confidence. It is just as the moon is wrapping up the weekend's eclipsing full moon in your career sector with a friendly aspect to Pluto in your work sector that Venus, in her last full week in your income sector, moves into a friendly aspect to Uranus on the career front. This wraps up an important few days across the income, work and career fronts, but with things continuing to evolve as Venus not only works to make her final days as lucrative as possible but to leave you with something that you can commit to. It is just before leaving your work sector and wrapping up the weekend's eclipsing full moon that the moon will spend its final hours at a friendly aspect to Pluto, for the first time since his direct turn in your income sector. With the brakes off, this allows the tail end of the wave this has created to give income potential a nudge, just as Venus, the planet of money is working to make the most of her last full week in your career sector. A tendency to push yourself forward creates an adverse impression with the people you meet. Even if it's not intentional, your attitude disrupts any potential for things to run smoothly. Try to restrain yourself. Otherwise, you're unlikely to impress anyone since your boastful manner makes you seem conceited and unapproachable. As you cannot know what the future holds and things can change quickly, prepare to be flexible, also in financial matters. You might suffer unpleasant consequences if you make a big investment or acquisition now. If you're given this advice, remain skeptical and take some time to consider, as the information might not be the best. The moon moves from Taurus to Gemini today. This lunar switch allows us to discuss the events that unfolded during the lunar eclipse. If the eclipse energy is making a situation cause emotional hurt of some kind, it's important to let out any pent-up emotions while discussing it with friends. The more you hold things in, the harder it will be to release the energy and move past it. It is halfway between the Sun's departure from your work sector last week and Venus' return next week, that the Moon makes a well-timed return to your income sector. As well as returning to ensure your nose for money is sharp in the heart of the working week, and as you prepare to move into the new month, this is a chance to get a sense of where the money is before Venus, the planet of money, returns to steer work and job matters in a lucrative direction. It's hard to bring your feelings under control calmly and rationally if you make decisions you later come to regret. Conversely, if you're normally a calm person, who keeps their feelings to themselves, it is easier for you to show them, enabling you to create clarity, to deepen and improve on any personal relationships in which you're involved. If you plan to make some financial transactions, wait a little and think things over at your leisure. There are some obstacles in the way that prevent the matter being handled as smoothly as you imagined. Even though you'd like to buy something, far better to wait if you want a favorable outcome. Be careful with your health and avoid pushing yourself too far. Circumstances sometimes result in greater difficulties arising than you might expect, and for this reason you need to save and ration your energy. Take a step back, don't get unduly stressed. Being too ambitious doesn't help you achieve your goal.